lovely church, isn't it? Aye.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
Quickly, children, to the Anderson! It was 1939. The school children were dressed like this. Now listen, everyone, and we'll tell you all the tale of Britain when she had to take up arms and fight a war. But ours is not a battle story heard many times before. We want to tell you about those children who had to leave their town because Mum and Dad were scared that cities and ports such as Hull would be bombed. We are going to tell you what it might have been like for those evacuees who came to live and go to school in Bishop Wilton. The evacuees were Hildebrand, Sunderland, Barry Trotter, Hull, Robert Wilkinson, Hull, Brian Wilkinson, Hull, Margaret Galloway, Hull, Dennis Galloway, Hull, Audrey and Keith Pygas, Hull, Arthur King, Hull, Alan King, Hull, Billy King, Hull, Miss Pay and my missing brother John Pay, Hull, Avril Gibson, Hull, Beatty Coleman, Hull, Edith Charlton, Sunderland, Audrey Gaydon, Hull, Malcolm Taylor, Hull, Frida Clint, York. And so, on with our tale about those children packed off to the country, safe and sound, about those helpless youngsters who became evacuees. It was 1939. We know that. It was August, a beautiful summer. Some years before this time, the British government had decided that there was likely to be a war with Germany. And if this war occurred, the largest cities of Britain would be heavily bombed. Therefore, the government planned to encourage as many people as possible to leave the cities of Britain at the outbreak of war and live in the comparative safety of the countryside. In 1939, the government announced which people were to be given priority in this official evacuation. Many of the children had never been away from their homes or parents in their lives. In fact, many of them had hardly been away from towns and cities at all, except for the occasional day trip to the seaside. However, government propaganda had persuaded their parents that children would be better off out of the cities, and now the parents had to persuade the children. Letters were sent in thousands of posts. So we're going to be sent away then? Do we have to go? It'll only be for a short time. I don't want to go with the strangers. I shall hate every moment. Oh, you'll soon be home again.
that during that weekend and the following week, 750,000 school children left the cities of Britain.
They travelled by train, bus and even boat, each child carrying a gas mask in a box as well as their personal
Try to remember what our mum said about looking after each other.
Take care, keep safe, clean your teeth, don't forget, eat well, sleep well, keep warm, try not to fret.
to a place called Bishop Wilton, and then line up in something called the Village Hall, or the Men's Institute. Come on everyone, let's go.
Once they had arrived at their destination, the evacuees were allocated the billets where they were going to live. In many cases, this was done by taking the children to a hall in the town or village and allowing the local people to choose which children they were going to look after.
Most of the people who were billeting evacuees were doing it voluntarily, and some were very welcoming.
However, some had been pressurised into it and weren't so enthusiastic.
They were paid 10 shillings and sixpence. That's just about over 50 pence per week for each child. It's doubtful whether that amount would cover all the expenses involved.
Consequently, some of them tried to get a little work out of the children to help make up the difference. We're here, everyone. We're at the Men's Institute. Line up like we do at school so the people can pick us.
That good, strong-looking lad will suit me fine.
Having a boy who can ride a bicycle to help with the delivery.
I must have girls. I'm not used to having boys around the house.
No girls, but I'll take 2 boys.
Now let me see. I think I'll choose the little girl with the red hair.
My mum always says when you're feeling down, a good old sing-song helps. You choose first, BT. What should we sing?
My mum always used to sing Good Night Sweetheart every night to me. Good night, sweetheart.
going home.
3 or 4 weeks later, after war had been declared, everyone waited to hear the bombers in the sky.
The towns and cities have the anti-aircraft guns prepared, and nothing seems to happen.
During this period of time, parents were able to go and see their evacuated children using special cheap train tickets.
The children were told that although there had been several false alarms when everyone had rushed to their air raid shelters, nothing had really happened. This period, which lasted until June 1940, was called the Phony War.
In 1941, the evacuees were billeted in Bishop Wilton.
Those evacuees, some of whom are here with us today, were the inspiration for our little play. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Will you please join us in our final song, There'll Always Be an England?